Hey, what's up, Street Talks? The Eric from the Eric from Street Photography blog. So, some more turbo thoughts to come at you. So, this is the idea. What is worthy of you? And I think this is actually a very important idea because obviously we cannot do everything in the world. And if you're watching this video, I assume you have good intentions, you want to change the world, be a good person, etc. But I think in life, it's very important to be choosy and only to do what you decide or deem is worthy of your efforts and yourself and your power and your skills and talents, and to not do what you consider unworthy of yourself. And I think it's interesting because we've been taught in modern society, oh, you want to be humble, you want to be meek, obedient, and so forth. And so we're taught to not be prideful. We're taught not to self-evaluate ourselves, to essentially the system breaks down our self-esteem. It breaks down our self-estimate of ourselves and our self-value of ourselves. And it just treats us like another cog in the machine. And so, for example, I personally wouldn't want to do manual labor or to do service industry jobs. I mean, my mom did it to get my ass through life. And I'm extremely grateful to her, employers, and so forth. But for me at this point in my life, I'm like, okay, what are my skills and talents? Blogging, vlogging, photography, teaching, and so forth. And I want to make sure to leverage my greatest skills to make the maximum impact in the world and in life. And this notion is called the Archimedes lever, is figure out where to stand and where your position is and how to leverage your strengths to create the maximum impact. So for example, imagine this is a lever. If your fulcrum point is all the way at the end, it's going to be hard for you to have leverage. Whereas if it's really close here, it's going to be very easy for you to topple over that one thing. And so what that means is discover or determine or dictate for yourself what you consider your strengths are and spend more time and effort focusing on leveraging and maximizing your strengths rather than worrying too much about your weaknesses and trying to become a well-rounded person. So essentially what I mean to say is in life, I think it's better to be an extreme person, is only do what you're extremely, extremely good at and don't waste your time bothering on what other people say is your weaknesses or your shortcomings. So for example, let's say you're a great photographer, but you're not good at writing. I would actually say, forget about writing. Don't worry about writing. Just focus on your photography. Or let's say you're somebody who is very creative, outgoing, and so forth, but people say, oh, you have bad manners, or you're not good at cleaning your laundry or whatever. Just kind of disregard all of the hate or the negative energy that people give to you and only focus on what you consider is worthy of yourself. And now, what you consider worthy of yourself, what you consider not worthy of yourself, it's to be determined. And I think this is also one of the wonderful things about living in modern society is that there's like trillions of people out there all doing different parts of to keep the economy running. And so even one thing I was very grateful for is, like, for example, when Cindy and I were living in Vietnam and we're just living in a hotel, I was so grateful that there was someone else to cook, clean, take care of logistics, drive me around everywhere. So I could take all that energy, which would have been sucked away here, and I could divert that towards doing creative work, to thinking, to writing. And the sad truth is in modern society, especially in capitalism, there's always going to be a hierarchy of certain people who are doing the menial labor and the other people who are going to be able to do more of the creative, intellectual work. And if, let's say, you're currently working a job or doing something that you really don't want to do for the rest of your life, then I would say hustle hard and think entrepreneurially so you could go from here to go here in order to have more control and autonomy over your life. So I know I can speak for myself, is that I grew up pretty poor. My mom's single mom, working, cleaning houses, working as a waitress, cashier, whatever. And I wanted more control over my life. I didn't want to work for a boss or a company for the rest of my life. And so I strived really hard in order to become self-employed. And I could safely say that now that I'm self-employed, now I've been able to maximize my personal impact in terms of, like, I was thinking, I'm like, man, 8 hours a day just working on a job that I don't really care for. What if I could use all that energy, time, and efforts to think, to photograph, to write, to read, to create stuff? And once I became self-employed, I was able to flourish times 1,000. And it's a joy that I wish that everyone is capable of and also deserves. And, you know, in order to become self-employed or become an entrepreneur, whatever, it really is being super, super hungry for it and really, really wanting it. And also to be prideful of your skills, your talents, your life experiences, your ideas, and to not let negative folks sap away your energy or your self-esteem or your self-confidence. And so I would really, once again, encourage you to think big, dream big, consider yourself greater than what you might think you are worth, and put yourself on a pedestal, keep elevating yourself, and focus on the rest of your life to keep doing dope shit. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Just, once again, think to yourself, you know, what do I consider worthy of myself? What do I consider not worthy of myself? What is my self-esteem? What is my estimate of myself? What is my self-worth? My personal rule is try to self-estimate yourself 25% more than what you think you're worth, because modern society has kind of fucked with our self-esteem and our self-worth. And just remember, you're doper than you think you are. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Peace out.